the best friend of our life. There once lived a boy named Jack in a small, quiet town. Jack wasn't just an ordinary boy. He had an adventurous spirit, and every day felt like a new opportunity to explore. But what made his adventures truly special was his best friend Max. Max was not just any dog. He was a golden retriever with soft golden fur that shone in the sunlight and eyes that sparkled with kindness and joy. Jack and Max had been inseparable since Jack's parents brought Max home as a puppy. Jack was only 5 years old at the time, and his world changed the moment Max bounded into their living room with his playful energy. From that day forward, Jack and Max became partners in everything. They played together, ate together. When Jack fell asleep at night, Max would curl up at the foot of his bed, guarding him like a loyal knight. Jack's childhood was filled with countless adventures, all with Max by his side. After school, Jack would race home, throw his backpack on the ground, and run outside to find Max waiting for him, tail wagging furiously. Together, they'd dash off into the woods behind their house, where they pretended to be explorers discovering uncharted lands. They would dig for buried treasure, climb trees, and chase butterflies. Max always led the way, sniffing out new places for them to explore, and Jack followed, trusting that Max would never steer him wrong. But Max wasn't just a playful companion. He had a way of sensing Jack's feelings. Whenever Jack felt sad or upset, Max would come to his side without being asked. He would nuzzle his head into Jack's lap and sit there quietly, as if to say, "I'm here for you." There were no words exchanged, but Max's presence was all Jack needed to feel better. One day, Jack came home with tears in his eyes. He had a tough day at school. He fought with his best friend, and it left him feeling lonely. Without a word, Max padded over to Jack and gently licked his hand. Jack sat on the floor, wrapping his arms around Max, and together they sat in silence. In that moment, Jack realized that Max wasn't just his dog. Max was his truest friend. Max never judged, never argued, and never left Jack's side. A few years later, Jack's life took a big turn. His parents told him they were moving to a new town because his dad got a new job. Jack was heartbroken. He had to leave the house he had grown up in, the friends he had known for so long, and the familiar streets where he and Max had shared so many memories. Jack worried about making new friends in the new town, but there was one thing that made him feel a little better. He knew Max would be there with him. The move came quickly, and before Jack knew it, they were driving to their new home. Jack sat in the back seat of the car, his hand resting on Max's head. He whispered to Max, "It's going to be okay, right?" Max, as if understanding Jack's words, wagged his tail and licked Jack's hand, reassuring him in the way only Max could. When they arrived in their new town, Jack felt nervous. Everything was different. The house, the neighborhood, the people. On his first day at his new school, Jack felt like an outsider. The other kids already had their groups of friends, and Jack didn't know where he fit in. When the school day ended, Jack walked home feeling lonely. But as soon as he opened the door, there was Max, waiting with his usual wagging tail and joyful bark. Jack smiled for the first time that day. In the weeks that followed, Jack and Max made the new town their own. They explored the parks, the nearby trails, and even found a lake where they would sit and watch the sunset together. While Jack slowly began to make new friends at school, it was always Max who made his day feel complete. Jack would tell Max about everything, about the funny kids in his class, about the new games he was learning, and about his fears and hopes for the future. Max listened patiently, always offering comfort just by being there. Years passed, and Jack grew older. Max, too, began to slow down. His once boundless energy was replaced by a gentle pace, and he spent more time napping in the sunshine. Jack was now a teenager, facing new challenges and responsibilities, but Max was still his constant companion. Jack had made many friends over the years, but none compared to Max. Max was always there, through every up and down, through every laugh and every tear. One summer evening, as Jack was getting ready for college, he sat beside Max on the porch. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Jack looked at Max, now an older dog with gray fur around his muzzle, but the same kind of eyes he had known his whole life. "You've been with me through everything, haven't you?" Jack whispered, scratching behind Max's ears. Max looked up at Jack and wagged his tail slowly as if to say, "Yes, and I always will be." As Jack prepared to leave for college, he felt a deep ache in his heart. He knew he wouldn't see Max every day like before, but he also knew that Max would always be with him, no matter where life took him. Max had taught Jack the most important lesson of all. True friendship is not about always being together, but about being there for each other when it matters the most. When Jack left for college, he took with him all the memories of his adventures with Max. Whenever he felt lonely or homesick, he would think about the times they spent exploring, playing, and just sitting quietly by the lake. Max had given Jack more than just companionship. He had given him unconditional love and an understanding of what it means to have a best friend. Even though Jack's life continued to change, Max remained a part of him. The bond they shared was unbreakable, a reminder that the best friend of our life isn't just someone who shares our happiest moments, but someone who stands by us in every moment, good or bad. Max had been that friend for Jack, and for that, Jack would always be grateful. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this story and that it brought a smile to your face. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fun and heartwarming stories. See you in the next video.